Good morning, traders, and welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap, and as per usual, we'll go through the live analysis here, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, 10 a.m. Live trading on Wednesday, Friday, 10 with JTrader tomorrow, and then 10 a.m., and then Stocks Trader, and Thursday, Scott Pulcini, Futures Trader. So we have a full lineup here. Let me just kind of describe it a little bit here. Over on our Discord channel. All right, so hold on a minute there and let me get to it. Yeah, here we go. All right, good morning, Rob. Good morning, brother Chromatide. And thank you for welcome back here. Nice to be back, and jumped right in yesterday, so we're already got lots of stuff going on. What I want to show here, though, for everybody, in our education and what we're offering here, and all of these different webinars in here, and events, live events. This is something that is, I think, quite a bonus for everybody. It's all free. The education is all free here at Bookmap. We have an educational course that's online. It's on our YouTube channel. Let me show you where that is. If you go to YouTube, our YouTube Bookmap channel here, and you scroll down, you'll see the educational course down here. You can open up the playlist, and you can just start here with part 1 and 2, at least part 1, and understand how these markets work. Then part 2 gets into microstructure, volume profile. Part 3, it gets into kind of setups in the order flow structure, and part 4 is about confluences and advanced executions and correlations. Anyway, based off of this course, we have now these live webinars, these live events. This is the foundation for the order flow trading. And we provide this here so that other traders like JTrader, Scott, after this webinar, we have Tom B on our Discord channel. He'll be streaming. So if you go to our Discord channel, you'll see the live button, and you'll see that in the Traders Lab here, Tom B, he'll be trading or going through his analysis. Right after that, if you scroll down a little bit further, here now you can join Discord. It's for free. Just go to bookmap.com, and we're not going to spam you or anything like that. You'll see the link right here at the top of bookmap.com, and to join our Discord room right here. I'm just showing this because we think we're offering something pretty nice here, and it's all day long and it's free. All right, so Options with Doug is right after Tom B. So I'll end around 11:30, in another about hour and a half or so, hour and 20 minutes. Tom B will start up immediately. Right after that, when he ends, 1:30, Doug will start, Options with Doug, and then right after that we have Algo Boys from 2:30 to the close. All right, this is pretty nice. We just came from another webinar in German with an excellent trader, Oliver Sparring. And before that, we have Rain with the crypto markets. We have a full schedule. All right, so anyway, this webinar here is the advanced webinar we've done for years. This is the foundation. Okay, so let's jump in and let's get into that order flow analysis and look for some opportunities here. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's jump in, and we'll go over what we see right now, and simplify it here. Let me take the stops and icebergs off the chart for the moment. Okay, that's the sub chart. Here it is on chart. All right, and just go through what we see for right now. All right, and it's not much, to be honest. If we zoom out here, this is the price action since 4 a.m. We can see the move down here, and then right around here, it was around East Coast time, around 8:30 or so, sellers came in. Sellers came in and drove price away from these previous areas here. This is what we look for in moves, sustainable moves. Okay, away from an area. Look at the volume dots here. Okay, let's take the heat map down for a minute. Just look at the volume dots. Okay. This is how these markets work. It takes a lot of selling to drive it away from these previous areas of value, of price action. Okay, now we can get some insights just by looking at the structure here within this area here. It's making equal lows, slightly lower maybe, but you know, we have the a trend that you can see here, right? You can see that it's making lower highs. Okay. Now that's helpful, but look at the volume within it. Okay, not bad here, buying coming in, but did they break the structure? No. So sellers come in. Did the buyers come in again? Give it another try. Give it another try here. Give it one more try here. And none of them made a higher high. Not one of them. Okay, at best an equal high here. Okay, maybe it went maybe a tick higher. The sellers come in and they're driving it away from this area in here. Okay, now let's take a look at what happened after that. So this was not until the open here, the cash open, 9:30 a.m. Some back and forth here, more sellers drive it back down, and the buyers come in and they move it back up to here. Okay, why? Well, you know, is it all this new buying coming in and seeing some sort of advantage? Or maybe it's to retest this area up here to see if there's any more action, or look at the stop runs down here. Okay, maybe to hit some stops up in here. Anyone that sold in here is going to be getting out here, turn it over to other traders willing to take that short side and drive it back down to a new low. All right, now am I making that kind of stuff up? Well, here it is right in front of us. Okay, we're looking at stops. Okay, here's a stop run right in here, a stop run, big one. Here's another one up into this area here, and that high that we just covered. All right, so this is a retest back to this area, also to shake the market up a little bit, get people to leave their positions. And then now we have this blue line in here, which is icebergs. These are larger players using an iceberg orders, and these are the transactions in here. Well, tons of icebergs here right in this area in here. Okay, so in fact they felt the squeeze, and then there's more selling icebergs in here, okay, in this area in here. So there's you can see this and these two lines in here, this relationship between smaller players using stops to exit their position because they do not have deep pockets, and larger players who are hiding their liquidity from the order book using iceberg orders because it will scare the market away from them getting filled. And we have that dynamic here, right? Now, this is down here. This is a confluence within the price action, okay? And we can put these kind of pieces together in here to understand, like, you know, what might be happening in some of these moves in here. Right now we're speculating a bit about that. We don't know, but this is what price did, and we do have the stops and icebergs in here. All right, so there's no question about that. This data is irrefutable. Okay, this is just the case. This is what happened. All right, so we're going to continue on with the reading of the order flow here. We'll turn on the heat map here. So we're looking to see who's driving the market with the volume, but we're also looking at the other side of the trade. Okay, and we're also looking at stops and icebergs in the market structure. All right, so we can see the sellers drive it away, and then it's really chaotic in here. Okay, I don't really see anyone taking control in this market in here. There's buyers, there's sellers. They look pretty equal in here. Here come the buyers back again, you know, so where are they going? Well, maybe they can come up to about here, where the sellers started to come in, or maybe it comes back up to 40.30 up here, previous swing high. Looks pretty good, actually. Look at that. Look at that buying coming in. Look at that's a stop run right there as well. So anyone selling short in here, or a lot of sellers in here, are getting stopped out on this way up. Okay, so here's a pretty strong move, looking for the swing up here at 30. All right, now this is happening out of the blue right now, and we're probably going to find sellers, equal amount of sellers up here, and they'll probably drive it right back down here to about 20 or 18, somewhere around in here. Okay, because we know there's sellers in here, we know there's buyers in here. It's back and forth in here. It's a big battle. And here's our stop run to the upside. Don't see many icebergs though yet. So anyway, that's the dynamic that's going on in the here and the now. Okay, other areas, liquidity filled here, also here at the open. Price goes lower. It never trades down to the figure. Okay, just shy of it. Well, 5 points shy of it, or 6. Here's 40, 05, 02, and then here's the figure 4,000. All right, so anyway, just want to kind of cover and just start to understand what's going on in this market. That's the analytical part here. We'll look for opportunities now too. Okay, so let's see a few questions in here. We'll take a bit of a breather and let me answer some questions. Good morning, Alan. And let's see in Discord, is it a good confirmation for local bottoming topping when there's sell stop runs? It's all about the context. Okay, so yes, it can be. We covered this one yesterday in detail, like, seeing stops above a range, but that's just the beginning part of it. Does it accept? So like, let's look at this one right here. We can find out how many stops and versus exactly how many other transactions in here. But there's like 600 stops or so, a little bit more, it looks like, that triggered all the way up here. All right, so and then it stopped up here at this high liquidity, just shy of our 30 level that we were looking for price to go to. All right, so here, well, strong move, strong move away from all of this previous action down here. Okay, so kind of what we were just covering with the let's just draw up our rectangle. Okay, strong move away, right? Just like we were covering here. Here's our range, and then the strong move away on this volume. Now this is pre-market, so you have to look at it in terms of reference here. Look at the dots in here and look at the ones here. Okay, so they're moving it away from this area here, and here's the back and forth and the revisit back up into this area here. All right, but now we're just going to talk about this move in here. Right, so we know it's a stop run. We know that, or many of them are stops in here. Now price is coming right back down to what we thought. Okay, because it's a stop run. We want to see, though, are buyers going to accept it here above this area? Do we get more buyers coming in now? Let's just take a look. If we do, then I'd look for the move to come back up to about here. This liquidity also above the swings in here around 24 or so. Okay, so the question is, after the stop run, this is the volume event, does it accept or does it reject? Right, and that's what we want to determine now. Okay, because you can see that this moved it away from the area, but it retested all the way back down here. Now, a lot of that has to do with these being stops, or many of them being stops. Okay, there are icebergs actually on the other side here as well. Okay, so some pretty big ones it looks like too. No, I'm sorry, it's not that big. All right. So now the question is, like, is it going to accept here and back up into this range in here? It's already breaking it right now, and we can understand why it's breaking it here. this move back up. We know that there are sellers already over here, okay? Because of this selling here and because of the stop run here, we were looking for this move to unfold back down and retest 18. Okay, well, it's already done that. Let's take a look. Let's see if buyers scoop it up down here, though, and try to drive it right back to 22 or 24 like we were looking for earlier. Okay, we already see the buyers coming in. Okay, but let's look at the structure too. Were they able to come up here? No. Sellers still remain in control in this smaller time frame here. I hope that answers your question. The topping, maybe I can describe it in a different way here. I'm trying to keep it really simple and really straightforward. Just knowing that there are other sellers here and that these are stops gives us some clues that we might get a pretty deep pullback to retest back down here. Okay, so in this case, did this break out from this area? Is it sustained? And we still actually don't quite have an answer yet, because sellers did drive it back down a little bit lower, but buyers are coming right back in. Okay, so it's kind of unclear basically, and that's fine. We're looking for clarity though. So, well, if it doesn't give us clarity, we do nothing. We just wait and watch and start to understand it. Now, what I wanted to cover here was, like, if we look at some candlesticks and start to understand, like, breakout or breakdown. Let's put it to a 5-minute. Okay. All right. So candlestick chart. All right. So, well, here's our breakout. Okay, we want to know though, and the question here from brother Chromatide here is is it we're looking for a confirmation in here. Well, we didn't get anything confirmed in here with our analysis. Let's throw the candles on though, and let's take a look. Okay, so here's our breakout, and here's the move back down here. Okay, so yeah, I mean, clearly we had to wait until the candle closes on this chart here, and we still don't know, what's going on in here. Okay, in the candles, are not confirming anything, but the order flow either. There is no confirmation in here. Right now, this might have been a buy right around here. Like if this candle closes here, then this would be a buy signal, right? Above this candle, above this swing, that you'd be buying. Okay, well, that's one way to look at it at least. Well, here's the result. Okay, for those that bought and didn't scalp it and take some profit off along the way, or exit, and are still holding it, well, they're holding the bag basically. Okay, so anyway, looking at the candlesticks in here, still really no clarity in here. If we do get the one thing that would give us clarity, if we do get sellers down here again. Okay, so now let's take a look and try to confirm that. Well, some pretty good selling down here. What about the other side here? The buying, they came up here and traded, so there's a little bit buying, but it did break this, but it didn't break this structure here. Okay, now here's our sellers. Okay, great. Looking for the sellers now to drop it into 14 and maybe 10. Okay, so our candlestick pattern is confirmed with the volume. Does that help with the clarity? So now we have to be careful here. Like, let's suppose it just dips down like this and then massive buying comes right back in. Okay, we got to go through the scenarios, because the number one job here is to manage the risk. right? So you know, look at the buyers trying to take it back in here, and they may. So if that's the case, then exit the position. Okay, you maybe you lost a few ticks, or maybe it's just break even. Okay, basically break even, right? So now let's take a look at this here. Okay, so that's the candlestick pattern, right? Well, that's obviously failing here. Okay, so now we're looking for actually more buyers up at the top of the range up here, and then looking for a stop run, not only to 21. I think they can get up higher. I think they can get up to 24 and maybe even to 30. All right, so do we get buyers up here? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so then we're just looking for, in the candlesticks, we're just looking for a test of this swing high up here, right, which is this high here. Okay, and then maybe a stop run above it. Okay, so let's take a look here. All right, looks like the volume's pretty good. Let's see them trade it back up to 21 or 22. All right, based off of, now you guys probably know your candlestick patterns, and I think it's kind of crazy to think like, oh well, we all learn these candlestick patterns, but the reason that these candlestick patterns work or don't work is because of the order flow within them, and that's what we want to read. Put your candlestick, maybe you have high probability candlestick patterns that you have used over the years, and now you can put that together with the order flow here in Bookmap. Very simply, look at the volume, also look at the order book. Okay, so it's already come back up to the swing here. Okay, we're looking for maybe a little bit higher. We said 21 or 22, and we said 22 because of the liquidity here, and it still may, right? Look at them on the bid down here. Here's the candle, but here's the book. Okay, they're on the bid here at 16.5, and they're on the offer up here at 22. All right, now let's see. Now, based on the candles in this little range in here, I don't see anything going on in the candles. Okay, but if we do get volume up here, buy volume up here, likely we're going to break it because we already had some buying up here. Okay, now we're going to mix and match different strategies in here. Well, a candlestick pattern and also volume profile, basically. Your volume profile or footprint maybe is showing like these transactions up here, nice little cluster of buying. Well, what if we can get back up here, find more buying? Then likely we're going to break, okay, and come up to like other areas of liquidity, maybe 25, which matches up to this selling, or maybe to 30, like we mentioned. Okay, but we need to see the buying up in these areas here. All right, so let's see here. Good morning, Timothy. So what does the iceberg imply besides hiding flow? Well, it's going to be, it implies it's a larger player as well. All right, and the question is like, well, it's a confluence, right? So this is not a signal down here, and we can show it on chart as well, which is a really pretty amazing indicator here. But what we're looking at here, we're looking at order flow. Now we're looking at order types, the actual order types that are transacting, and that's amazing transparency. You know, you know, obviously I work here at Bookmap. I am amazed by that kind of transparency, just simply as a trader. I mean, it's just that's incredible. Let's take a look at the icebergs here. We'll use the automatic aggregation here, and let's also do the same for stops down here. Okay, so that'll filter them out a little bit in here. Okay, well, look at them. So here's our candlestick, right? Above here, that's your buy signal again, right? On your candle. Now the volume looks good. Okay. And again, you would be buying up here based off of the order flow and the candle, but beware here, because this is exactly what we saw down here, right? So it's bashing on one side, coming back in, collecting some volume in here, trading it right back into the middle. Okay, right back to 17 here. All right, this is trapped volume. Okay, let's just look at the candles. Let me get that drawing tool out. Okay. So the move up above, right? This is your candle buy pattern, right? Okay. Actually, now it's looking pretty good. All right. This looks pretty good for the continuation up here. All right. I'll explain why. I mean, look at your candle first, and it pulled all the way back here, retested this area down here. Okay, and then we get more buy volume up here. Okay, so we have some buy volume, more buy volume, and now we have even more here. All right, so we're looking for in the order flow these buyers in here to move the market. Okay, 25 first stop, 30 second stop. Now the reason that this became, I think, better is because it already did this retest here. Okay, so now we're just looking for, and it came back up here and we're still finding buyers. So, you know, yeah, okay, a seller may come in and slam on it and come back down here again. Okay, but because of this order flow in here, and then here's your candlestick pattern, this is your buy signal, and then here's your breakout. Does that make sense? Okay, whereas like here, suppose you bought it in here on your candlestick pattern, okay, at 10:30. Well, you might have been stopped out. The weaker hands are going to be probably stopped out here or in here, maybe down here, bottom of the range. But what happened? Price came right back up, and there's more buy volume up here. Okay, so we're looking for a breakout. Okay, now it's battling here, and hey, we never know. So let's suppose the sellers come in here and just step on it and really just pound the bid, and we see big red dots in here. Well, then likely we're going to come right back down to the swing around the 17.5. Okay, and all of this buying in here is trapped. Then we look for not only 17.5, but maybe a stop run. Okay, below that, and continuation on down. All right, now did we get that? No, not yet. We're still finding buyers in here. Okay, so still looking for them up here at 25, and then the breakout up into 30. Okay, candlesticks and order flow within it. So this confirms your candles. Now, maybe you're not a candlestick trader. That's fine. You can look at your volume profiles. You can look at your patterns, whatever it is that you want to look at. Your trending patterns. We can look at trend lines. Let's just go back and look at array. Hold on. Okay, maybe you're looking for this. Okay, nice developing channel there. So maybe you're looking for buying down here. Okay, somewhere around 21, which makes sense. Get some people stopped out. Buy off the trend line down at the bottom of this little range here. Oh, thanks, Timothy. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I hope I answered your question there on the icebergs. Yeah, it's just kind of uncovering. I mean, they're using the hidden order for a reason, and the reason is to hide their activity, because it might, if there's like just a massive bid or offer, then it might scare the market away, and they'll never get filled. Iceberg, Brian, is a subscription. Let me show you. It is separate. It works with Global and Global Plus. Okay, it does not matter. So this is where you have to be really careful with the order flow in here, because this looks great, right? But look at the selling coming in now. All right, so now it's a war in here, and it's trading off of this trend, or it's breaking this trend line. However, we can also look at a smaller trend line in here. What if we get buyers back up above here? Okay, so if you're a trend line trader, you'd be looking for this. You're looking for this to break, okay, up here, and then continuation 25 and 30, right? So you may still be in this, giving it a shot to come back up here, right? If you don't see that and you see the more selling here, it's going to break, and it's going to hit 17. It's going to hit 15, 14 down here. Okay, so it is breaking, right? So again, like, we have to be careful. We had the right read, okay, and then there's some exhaustion here, but we did find some buyers. Not a lot though. Look at this buying. Now, it's obviously, hindsight is easy. Okay, we were looking at this though in here, and we're looking for that breakout due to the reasons that we covered. It already retested and came back up, and we get more buyers in here, but we also noted, like, well, more buying up here, we're going to get the break, right? And it did get some, just not enough. Just not enough. Not this kind of buy volume. Okay, so the sellers come in, and this is where they just pounded it here. But you could have gotten out on that the same way you could have gotten out on this one over here. Giving it a shot. It didn't work out. You take the risk. Okay, now I'm not saying to take any risks in here. We're covering order flow. This is not a trade calling room. This is not about trading live off of this information whatsoever. This is not financial advice. All right, so what we're covering in here is understanding these order flow events around these areas. Okay, taking a step back and understanding that order flow and putting it together into a cohesive, more cohesive strategy. All right, so this failed here. Now, this is a double top up here after that breakout, and you can see volume here, not so much here, a little bit. That's why up here we're looking for that potential for that move higher. Comes back down. We drew up our trend line. We talked about trend line trading, and we're like, okay, well, maybe if we get buyers up here, we're going to move to the top of the range and then 30. We didn't get those buyers here. We got sellers, and we noted that. That's when we're looking for. At this point here, we're looking for the drop into our 17 here, and then maybe 14 here, 14 or 15, I guess, here, and that followed through. Okay, so we didn't get what we wanted up here. We started to see this here, and we got the follow through here. Right, so anyway, different ways of looking at this and managing in this, and keep yourself. This is basically turning into chop, but you're giving it a shot to run, and you're managing it. Okay, so there's many different ways to manage your trades, of course, many different strategies to look at. These are just a few ideas. Okay, so Brian, let me cover the stops and icebergs for you. Go to bookmap.com, and then click on the more button here. Okay, and then go to the marketplace. In fact, you can go down here to this one, MBO bundle. It goes directly to it, and that's the stops and icebergs. Okay, so it's the MBO bundle. It's market by order data is what you need. It also comes with the new Trader Map Pro that we covered yesterday. These are the indicators you get here. A nice kind of list here of 4 different indicators. You will need to just read the details here. This is important because you will need to only trade CME group futures, and you need to have rhythmic data. All right, so if you're interested in that product, this will work with global or global plus. That does not matter, but you need to have global or global plus. All right, this is sold separately, and it's 134 US dollars, okay, per month. All right, so that's how you get it. You can go to the knowledge base in here as well for more. Just click here, and that should take you to the knowledge base, okay, in the add-on section, and stops and icebergs. All right, so I hope that answers your questions. All right, well, this was kind of fun. Let's take a look at some more candlesticks patterns. We haven't covered candlesticks in a bit, so I thought maybe we would continue on here and look for some sort of opportunities in the candles, and then verify it and confirm it with the order flow. Okay, so yeah, here come the buyers. I'm looking for them to try to take it right back up to the swing here in the candle. Okay, let's see if they can do that. Okay, buying looks pretty good. So this is where the sellers came in and dropped it from that trend line. So somewhere around in here, basically back to 21. Okay, to retest this area here. Okay, we have a buying wick here. Now let's look at the buying in that wick. Is it great? It's not so great, is it? You know, it's not the greatest. The selling looks stronger here. Okay, so we're seeing the buyers come in here above this little structure, yeah, I don't know, a move back to retest this high here looks pretty good right now, but let's take a look here. All right, so the wick here is made up of this buying in here. Okay, sellers moved it back down, the buyers moved it back up. Okay, here's our new candle, and it's looking pretty good for retesting up here to the top. Okay, we're back at 21 already. That's basically what we're looking for, was where they dropped it here. Okay, if we get more back up here, then it's looking great for trading back up to the top of this range, 25, to our 30, back to our 30. Okay, let's look at the dots in the subchart here within our candles. Okay, so well, here's our candle in here, the volume that made it up between this period and this period, this 5-minute period. And there's more sellers in here than anything else. Clearly, look at the dots, look at the bars. Sellers remain in control from this point. Okay, look at buyers trying to gain control right now. Okay, so back to, let's see if they can move it back to the top of this range here, 25, and then maybe can get to 30 as well. Okay, so again, like you can see, like candlestick traders that are just buying the breakouts, selling the breakdowns, are getting annihilated back and forth if they're looking for that follow through. But we know better. We're looking for giving these moves a shot here, but looking for the other scenario in the order flow. If this one doesn't work, we'll look for the other scenario. You can trade it right back down to the bottom of the range, back to the mean or back to the bottom of the range. Okay, this is looking good here. Look at that buy volume. When we started this webinar off, what did we talk about? This volume in here has to be strong, right, to move it away from a range. This is strong volume. I'm looking for 30. Okay, and we should get a stop run too from this selling in here to be upended. Here's another pattern within a pattern, potentially. It hasn't played out yet. Strong volume, pullback, followed by strong volume. And that's what we'd be looking for. And that'd be your flag pattern or continuation pattern. Boy, I don't even like, the strong volumes here. Let's just take a look, break this down a little bit more. This has a high probability of failing here, this continuation pattern. Strong here, but not so strong up here. Okay, so we got to see buyers strong back up here around 26 for this to work. Okay, so other than that, we're going to get our sellers and they'll bring it right back down to 22 or maybe even 20. Right? So see how this can help here understand. Okay, and it's not just the dots, it's the liquidity and the relationship between the aggressors here, the market buy and sells with the limit buy and sells. Okay, here we go. So it looks like our flag pattern looks like it's going to do it, right? Look at the strong move here again. Now, sellers, this is why these things work. Unless there's just a massive seller that comes in, they're going to step aside. They're going to let this move work up into 30, high liquidity, right? That's a strong move. So still looking for 30. And then let's see if we can get a stronger move. Let's zoom out here. Okay, 30 looks great. Just to test to 30. Okay, 35 liquidity is up here at this swing up here. I still like it. Here's why. Even though this is pulled back here, look at the buy volume up here. Okay, look at the selling in here that drove it down. It's not so strong. All right, this is where you can mix and match your things. Maybe you're looking at your trend lines at this point. Buying off of that trend line now. Looking for 30. Okay, again, this is not financial advice. We're just going through order flow. Okay, and different ways of reading it and understanding that and integrating it within the way that you trade. Okay, we're getting more insight here due to the order flow. Uh-oh, looks like I have some data issues here. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so I'm back. Looks like the data is back now. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I had a little bit of a data loss in here, as you can see. Rare, where have I been? Thank you. Yeah, I was away and a few different trips and both business and pleasure. So anyway, let's see it. I mean, I like this volume up here. This was a strong move. And it was a strong pullback too. But I'm still looking for the buyers up here. Okay, there. Look at the selling down here. Look at the buying come back in. Come on, buyers, get back up to 27, and then the pop up into 30. All right, then we'll go back to Discord here. Okay, thanks, Rob. Yeah, it was weird. I didn't know if I lost complete connection here or if it was just rhythmic data. All right, well, again, like looking at the candles here, I got to see the volume up here at 27. I got to see it. If I do, we should get, it's a higher probability move up into 30. Everything looks good. Okay, now really it's so important, I feel like that, you know, part of your plan is to go through the other side of the scenario, and then you just become a robot. if it does this, I react this way. If it does that, I react this way. So you protect yourself, and you're looking for something higher probability. That's your edge, and you're looking for it to work out and continue. Boy, it's really, we should get it here. I mean, it's looking better and better, and still building. So just looking for sellers to get out of the way, and looking for buyers to pop it, and we should get a stop run too. Okay, so I am looking for a stop run real quick here, real soon. Okay, candlesticks look good. Everything's looking good. Okay, makes sense. Okay, now here's a way to kind of protect yourself. This is high liquidity up here. That's your target. Take some off. Okay, 29 is high liquidity. It's already traded into it. Okay, now in this case, that would be about a 5-point S&P move that we're looking for. We said somewhere around 25 to 30, and you know, something like that. You know, what I'm trying to say here is, in this smaller move, that is one way to consider the management, and then hold your runner. Okay, looking for the continuation. You can exit your runner at any time. If you see something in the order flow that says like I should get out, just get out, and maybe you take a small profit on the runner, or maybe don't lose money on it though. Just get stopped out at break even plus. CJ, I stream Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Okay, tomorrow we have J Trader at this time, and then Scott Pulcini on Thursday. Okay, they will be trading live. Scott's futures, J Trader's stocks. This is still in play, guys. Still in play. Still looking for 30. Okay, just pulled back here. All right, what are our candles telling us? Not much. I mean, yeah, it's still green. It's still closed higher over this one. So, and we're still getting buy volume in here, right? What about the low? It's still, it didn't make a lower low. It's the structure is still in play. Just looking for these buyers again, and then the move higher. Here we go. We should get it. Go, guys. Now, the sellers are still battling it in here. They're really like, you know, look at the, let's turn on the market pulse. I wanted to show that. In fact, I wanted to get to something with the market pulse yesterday. This new tool that we developed here. What I wanted to show is I wanted to play not just the, let's start with the S&P. Okay, and we're looking at volume pressure in here. Okay, so you'll be able to hear it actually now, this is really cool. And I'm also going to play the NASDAQ one, and we'll get to that. There's our move, guys. Beautiful. Still looking for it to continue the momentum. 35 here. Next level is 35 here, and it's strong volume. Now we're anticipating a stop run, right? Here it is. Here it is. So it's let's see, at negative 91. What is it down here? Well, there it is. 274 stops triggered. Okay, so let's see if we can get this flag pattern here, though. More buying again, and then up to 35. Now, one of the things to note in here is, all of this back and forth in here, and how, like, kind of difficult it can be to, oh, is it, oh, there's sellers here, there's buyers here. Once you got this in here, it's so much easier. You're just looking for them. They're moving it away from an area, or the market's moving away from an area. Buyers are moving it away, and it takes high volume here. So you just ride it. Whereas all the back and forth here, we started the webinar off talking about this move here on the sell side, the stronger move. Still looking for 35 to test. How many? I'm gonna do a poll in here. Let's ask it. Do you trade candlestick patterns? Okay, since that's what we're going over here. So get your vote in. There's 35 guys, and look, I mean, at this point here, like, I like taking some off at my targets, and then just looking for the next one. But we can like suppose in this fictitious trade here, we could continue to stay in it, and then and wait for order flow to tell us to exit. Okay, now that means that it might be, give back quite a bit here. That's another reason why I like my targets. I'm looking forward to trade in here. I take my profit and I look for the next one. But order flow wise in here, there's no reason to get out yet. Right, traded in that high liquidity, and there's still more buying. We see other stops triggered here as well, but there's a lot of buying coming in. Okay, so not until we see something different that we would consider managing it differently. Wow. Okay. Well, we've only had a few people in here. 17 votes so far. Hit it up. Hit it up, guys. Hit the like button if you can as well. This is the kind of content or feedback that we get that helps us. Like, do you want me to cover more candlestick patterns? If so, hit the like button. Hit yes here. So far, like we got 29 votes in there. It's still hovering at 60%. So most of you guys are looking at these. Okay, you see a few people saying no now. So understanding the candlesticks in here and then it's really the order flow. I mean, it sounds kind of cheesy to say, but I'm gonna say it. It's right on our home page here. Check what candlesticks are hiding. It's true though. Here's what's going on within the candles, and that's what makes these candlestick patterns happen. It's not because it's a candlestick pattern. If this move in here, now we noticed it all the way back in here, right? And even earlier, and we were looking for some of these moves to unfold. But looking for, there's more buying and more buying, and like they continued. So, you know, and we saw the volume behind it. That was the key. We didn't, our target was the high liquidity. Okay, and then we saw even more, and it's like, okay, we can still look for 35. Another easy 5 points on top of that. Like I said, I like to take my profits in some of these areas and just look for the next high probability trade. In this move in here, there's still no reason yet to get out. Okay, just note that you may be giving it back, right back to 30, or maybe even back further. Okay, back to maybe 27 here. Okay, it could even dump all the way back down. We don't know. But we look at the volume and the liquidity here within that candle to tell us. Okay, so let's take a look here at our poll. We've got 54% so far saying that they do. So a lot of you guys came back in and said, no, you're not looking at candles. Okay, it's still a majority, not much, but still. I mean, you know, the problem is it's really this. I mean, I don't know. I should probably stay off the diatribe here. The problem is that it's what everyone's been looking at for forever, some sort of bar data, and this all developed. I mean, in the digital world in here, we're still looking at bar data. I mean, it seems kind of insane. The only reason that these were developed was because back in the day, like it would be a day bar, and they'd mark them up. Here, let me show you what I mean. Super simple stuff, and it's still this way. No, this is going the wrong direction. All right, let's try it with stocks. Still going the wrong direction. All right, let's try it with, all you have to do is look at reminiscence of a stock operator or something like that. Reminisce. Oh God, I found this so easy before. Now I'm struggling to find it. But back in the day, like you know, what basically you can look it up in the books, and they just, you know, what, everything was just hand drawn. And where did the market open? What was the high? What was low? And where did it close? Draw a bar. And then if you want a super sophisticated high tech, would be to draw how much volume traded in the subchart. it's still the same. Look at these candlestick charts. It's still exactly the same. So that's really, really funny. How much does this really help us here? I mean, I guess it's good enough. It's been good enough all these years, but there's so much more going on. Where's the volume exactly trading? How about that? Like here's our on the candlestick chart here. This is a 5 minute. Let's turn it into a 15 minute. This is an hour, and this is a daily over here. Where exactly is in the sub chart? This is not telling me anything where the volume is trading. Okay, I want to know here, like in the candle, in the wick, what is that wick made of? Okay, look at the sellers come in. They're going to try to trade right back down to here or down to here. Okay, down to 30. Okay, so here's why. Look at the wick up in here. That's buying up here, rejection though. Look at the nice little cluster of buying up here, but sellers come in down here. Okay, so sellers now have got these guys on the ropes here if they can continue to sell. Okay, so we're looking for within here, we're looking for our exhaustion on the buy side, and we're looking for sellers in here, right now, to drive it back down to the bottom of this range and back down here to 30. Okay, and then we'd look for a stop run also down in here. Okay, due to what we just covered, the buyers up in here. All right, so now again, like your trade man, how does this help you? How does this with your trade management? Well, maybe you want to take your risk off now. Right, because you know that scenario is likely. Okay, I don't know if it's high probability quite yet, but it's likely. Right, so you just save yourself some money. Now, who knows? You know, it might come down here and then the sellers exhaust. We find buyers in here and we come back up to new highs. Okay, but it's all about the risk management and what fits with you. Okay, so let's see if we get enough sellers here, and then the stop run down into 30. All right. Still looking for lower. Looking for 30. Let's see. Let me get back to questions in here. All right. Well, I was hoping that poll would help us more. It's kind of murky. I mean, still the majority is 54%. We'll end it here. We got about 48 votes. So we should have you should see the results there. Yeah. 54 say yes, 45 say no, and all right. So we should cover it basically. But we should cover other things. So let's say what more would you like to see besides candles? Can I do another thing in here? Q&A. All right, let's try that. Q&A. So yeah, let me know. I mean, I know there's a lot of volume profile traders out there. Maybe pattern traders as well. How you trade the open? Rare footprint. Okay, footprint is pretty similar to what Bookmap is showing already. You're just getting actually quite a bit more data in here, but the difference is it's graphical, Mike. Like basically your footprint is a bar of data here. It's going to be an aggregate bar, and then it's going to show the volume within that bar. But what we're looking at in Bookmap, for example, let's suppose a 5-minute bar in footprint. Well, you're going to see all sorts of buying up in here, but here's really what happened, because we have the structure here, down to microstructure, is buyers came in, went back and forth here. Buyers came in up here, and it failed. Okay, so this is the trap volume up in here, and the sellers move it back down. We didn't get down to 30. Okay, we got down to almost 30. We got down to 31, and we still might get down there. We can go over open moves. Sure. The open moves is typically a momentum move. It's a volume event, and you're looking for that volume to continue. Okay, now I guess that's maybe a simplistic way of putting it, but like here's our cash open here, right? Here's our sellers. This is all over the place though. Sellers, buyers, sellers. It looks like a pretty good move, like in here, especially here. This looks pretty good for the continuation down to 02 or 03, right? Look where the buyers snatched it away here and then drove it the other way. Look at the stop runs on the other side. So the volume event in here was not the continuation, it was the trap. Okay, and then the continuation move was this move here. Okay, and it came all the way back too, right? And then it came all the way back up again, and then finally broke out. Okay, and that's what we were looking at. All right, so anyway, it's a depends on the environment here. We can take a look at our higher time frame in here at open as well, and you just see it back and forth in here. Basically what it's done is it's filled the gap up here. Okay, it opened down here on this 15-minute chart, and it's come up and filled the gap, okay, from where it dropped from on the overnight. All right, so are we going to get enough buyers now to continue to move on up into the highs? I don't know. So anyway, it would be very similar to some of these other moves in here where you're just looking for high volume. Okay, like this in here, when we saw this start to unfold, and we were looking for it for took a long time. All right, I guess I can end that. Only got a few answers in there on the question, what more would you like to see besides candles? All right. Yeah, so here they are, right? Here's those sellers, right? So now it made us look good to get out here, right? You would have been out probably in here. At least I would have been when I saw that selling coming in. I would have exited. Now I would have given up, my 2 or 3 points in here, S&P points. Mike, the question was, we've been covering candles in here to a pretty high degree, at least like more than anything else, and what more would you like to see besides candles? Yeah, we actually do have footprint as well. It's kind of in the works, but I don't really have any details on it. Again though, like I'm saying, like you can see it graphically here in the dots, and you actually have more information here than the footprint, right? You can see, look at this move here, look at the pullback, look at the continuation. There's your flag pattern. This is what makes up your flag pattern. And now look at the move the other way here. Let's see the impulse move here, maybe back up to about 31.5. Yeah, look at see the liquidity here, the reaction, 31.5, and let's see if we can get like kind of maybe a bit of a pullback and continuation back up to maybe 33 and a quarter liquidity. Updating the drawing tools, yeah, it's in the works, Sean. Can you split it up? Dots can be viewed as buy sell. Yeah, it is right now. It's by delta right now. Let's go through it in the volume dots. Volume dot here, or volume dot with total volume here. So right now it's kind of split. It's either going to be a red dot or a green dot because it's the buy minus sell, right? The delta. Yeah. So your footprint chart, your footprint reading in here, well, I could tell you what it would be. Like this is, you'd see that strong move on the sell side. Okay. You would also see, look where the buyers retested back to where it dropped from here. Now this is where footprint also, you know, meshes very nicely with or complements volume profile. So this is a breakdown outside of the range, a retest here, and then you'd look for that selling to continue, and then we're looking for the move down to now 27, 26, maybe 25. Right? Look at the selling pick up. Now let's see them move it away from this area here. The selling's pretty strong. Let's see them move it away from the area here. Okay, selling strong down to this area. Now we have to see the continuation. Else this is just trap volume on the sell side. They'll move it right back up into, you know, these other ranges here. Now something I wanted to cover before we go, we'll end in about 10 minutes or so, was this Market Pulse product that we just released. And we covered it yesterday, and you'll hear it now. I'll turn it on. We can look at the S&P in here like we did yesterday, but what I wanted to cover yesterday was not just how you can hear the market come in here with the S&P, but correlations. This is a really nice thing in here. So we're going to look at correlations instead of just the S&P. All right, so let's go over to the NASDAQ here, and let's look at the settings in here. Okay, so I got it down to 3 minutes, 10 seconds on the half-life, and the threshold 56, and we're not getting too much out of it. Let's move that threshold down and hit apply. Okay, to 38. Okay, so what I'm looking for now is a correlation here in volume, yeah, it's a little too low, because if those buyers come in, they're just going to really annihilate it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to listen to one market and we're going to look at another. And if we hear lots of buyers stepping in the NASDAQ, and we also see lots of buyers here in the S&P, we've got something stronger. This is a great tool. You don't have to look at multiple charts. You can just hear them. Okay, and what are we getting right now? Nothing. Nothing at all. We even had to lower it down to 50%, and we're still getting nothing. Right? So there's nothing to do if you follow your correlations. Okay, which makes good sense to me. I mean, like I really like correlated markets, and it's all relative value back and forth. So you know, everything's related to each other, I believe. It makes sense. Like if the dollar is strong, people are going to be pulling money out of the stock markets. They're going to be putting it into bonds. You know, the emerging markets that thrive off of a cheap dollar are going to get annihilated, and maybe even default on some of their bonds. All sorts of things are going to happen. Prices of goods are going to go way up. So housing markets are going to all of a sudden get expensive, etc. Materials, commodities. But they're all interrelated. And when the value of one changes, it's going to affect the other. So now we're just looking at a very simple correlation. Highly correlated market is the NASDAQ compared to the S&P. And we're looking for volume in that NASDAQ to pick up. And it's starting to right now. Okay, so we're going to start to just turn it on here. But both are right now, right? We're not seeing too much of an advantage here in the NASDAQ because it's both, right? So it's a battle basically. So yeah, we're just not seeing much. So just let the battle unfold basically. Don't get caught up in the battle and get whipped around in here. We're looking for the victor. Let's see, can you tell us what you mean when the red and how to read the red and blue lines? Yeah, the stops and icebergs. Yeah, it just means that these were iceberg transactions on the sell side. They're absorbing 81. Okay, fully executed. E means executed. This would drive you nuts, Jay. Yeah, well, you can filter it. You know, you don't have to listen to all this you know, nuances in here. By default, I think it's around 70. So we can move it back there. I was just trying to demo it. And trying to demo, we're looking for either buyers or sellers in here to match, or maybe even give us quicker insight. Okay, that usually the NASDAQ moves before the S&P. So yeah, here's the NASDAQ moving. All right, S&P moving. Do we have a bottoming pattern? Not bad. I think we can trade back up to 30. Okay, let me turn the volume down, guys. Sorry. So yeah, here's the move. See how it's correlated in here? This is stronger, right? So if it's a stronger move, then where might they go? Okay, 31, the swing here or high liquidity up here would probably be, you know, some areas to take a look at. Okay, and again, we're looking for buyers to move it away from this area in here. Now, got to go through that opposite scenario. Does this volume look that good? Not like before, right? I mean, the scenario is still open and it might do it. It just doesn't look as strong as before. There's strong selling, there's strong buying. There could be equally strong selling yet again in here. So it might be a false breakout, right? So you got to put those things together in here to try to, like, basically you're building an edge and you want that edge. We're trying to bring in a correlated market here and trying to demo that in here for a stronger edge. Okay, so we saw some of that buying, but then we're in the NASDAQ, we heard it. Okay, so and then look at this move here. NASDAQ's not necessarily buying. Be careful with that then. It looks good here on the chart. Looking for the move to 32 3/4 or maybe 34 1/2 or so. Yeah, now the NASDAQ's moving. Okay, great. Let's see that continuation here in the S&P. Beautiful. See how much this can help you? Still looking for it. Let's see if we can get that NASDAQ again. They're still buying on the NASDAQ. Still looking for it to go higher. Still buying NASDAQ. Just looking for momentum now to continue and carry it through. Maybe back to 35. This liquidity up here, 36 or maybe 37. right? It's a great tool, guys. Play around with it. I think you have free access to it right now for like a month. It's called Market Pulse, KC. Let me show you where it is. Okay, again, you can start from bookmap.com, go to the more button here, and then go to knowledge base, or it should be in here. If we go to the market yeah, here's the market pulse. Yeah, it's free right now. Okay, I think let's see the details here. Click on it, and now I'm showing it here in the Bookmap marketplace. This is where you purchase these things. We can go also to the oops. We can also go to the knowledge base here, right? So that'll explain it in much deeper detail. Okay, and that's what I was showing earlier. If we go here, bookmap.com, more button, knowledge base, add-on section, and then market pulse, which is here. Okay, so you can find it in either place. There's a video we did in here. That's why you should probably go here. Yeah, I'm sorry, brother, Chromatide. Yeah, we were looking. The poll was on YouTube. Sorry about that. All right, well, look at this move up here. We're back up here. Do we hear the NASDAQ? No, quiet as can be, right? So that makes this more likely that it would be kind of mean reversion or a move back down into some of these levels here, retest some of the lows or swings down here. Okay, so I just don't see any correlation right now. So when all of these markets, you can look at, you know, the YM as well as the Russell. You'll note that when all of these start to pick up, the moves are just powerful as can be, all at the same time. Now the NASDAQ's starting to pick up a little bit, okay, but nothing really hard. So basically, let's look at this scenario now. Okay, it might continue on up, but I'm looking for this scenario here, sellers at 32, and I'm looking for the NASDAQ market pulse to really pick up. Okay, and then looking for follow up or follow through in the S&P as well. And we're not getting it. Okay, it had to be down here though, right? That's what we're looking for. That had to be down here, so you would have stayed out of it. Bookmap started about 10 years ago or so. Brian. And I've been with him for like 8 years. Okay, so the scenario that's playing out is the continuation move here. Okay, this is kind of hard, right? It's kind of hard to, we're getting the correlated markets here working, so likely it will get continuation, but it really picked up here, and now it can slow down up here and get sellers pick up here to move it right back down. We want to see, that's why we want to see those strong moves and that continuation move, and that we want to look for the correlations, you know, at some of these other levels like here. If we heard it here, that would have been a lot better for the continuation move. All right, so yeah, right now NASDAQ is still still buying here, but look at the sellers start to pick up. Okay. So anyway, you know, this is what this is confirming is that it's not a high probability move. All right, so I hope that, does that make sense? Let's see, did I miss Jonathan's question here? I once heard me subscribe upper and lower levels of high liquidity are magnets. Yes, that's true. And liquidity that suddenly appears in the book tends to repel price. Doesn't have to, but it usually tends to. Oh yeah, well, like, I mean, it's just how it works. Like, you know, the market, it kind of advertises up here, like, this is where you can find sellers. See how this market pulse thing, we read it together with this S&P volume in here. It just wasn't a high probability, or, you know, we didn't have what we were looking for. We stay away from it. So yeah, it's this, we get this question all the time about the liquidity. I think let's just jump over to Apple and take a quick look. This, I think, exemplifies that much better. This is high liquidity at the cash open here, 9:30 a.m. High liquidity, larger players. They're advertising basically this is where we can deal. If you want to meet us, we'll make the deal. Right, so these areas act like magnets. If there's enough buyers in here, you got to have the aggressive buyers want to trade it up to these levels here. If you don't get that, then you get this down here. See how the buyers wanted to trade it back up into these levels here at the open? Well, these guys are left hanging down here at 140, 140, or 139, etc. And you can see how on the offer these areas acted like magnets. Now the opposite is that lower time frame high liquidity that pops into the book here can repel, just like this. Look at this, high liquidity, high liquidity, high liquidity. We're not finding buyers. Okay, but what if we did? Okay, you'll see it. Like, maybe they will come in here and they'll come in with high liquidity here. We will find buyers. It won't repel it. Right, so again, it's contextual. So here they are right up here, right? Let's see, are buyers interested now in trading it up to here, or does it repel them and we just continue to find sellers drive into the lower levels here? And it seems like it's the sellers still driving lower. All right, so it's contextual is the answer, Jonathan, but but basically you can see how this is working. All of a sudden high liquidity pops in the order book here and it's repelling the buyers. Okay, but you'll see it at some point though, especially down at these lower levels. You'll see them maybe put high liquidity in again, but the buyers will take them on, and that's when it can be a start of a reversal pattern as well. See how they went for this 142 liquidity right here? It had kind of been in and out of the book for a while. So I hope that answers your question. All right, guys, we covered a lot today. We typically do. And we looked at candlestick patterns, ranges. We looked at understanding the liquidity within the candlestick, as well as the candlestick pattern and the volume. In that context, we're looking for certain moves to play out based off of the candles only if it was confirmed by the order flow. Then let's see, what else did we do here? Oh, we talked about stops and icebergs, and now we're talking about correlations in here. So a lot of stuff here today, guys. So it's recorded, it's up on YouTube. Guys, if you like this, please give us a oh, thanks, Zhang. I really appreciate it. We'll get more and more in depth here with maybe some trading strategies, etc. you can see where I'm going with this. I mean, I don't want to, we put a poll in, like only 55% are looking at candlesticks. So, you know, we can cover candlestick strategies, but we should cover more than that, right? What if you're trading something else? What if you're trading patterns? What if you're trading volume profile? What if you're trading, I don't know, channels, support and resistance areas, whatever. So order flow applies to all of it. It's what makes up all of it. It really is. It's not a lie. The candlestick patterns are meaningless without the volume and the liquidity. It really is. And here it is in front of you, right? The footprint charts do a pretty good job because at least it's showing you one side of the transaction. At least it's showing you the aggressors within in the range or in the bar. Again, though, two big drawbacks. Number one, it's not showing the other side, which is critical. Look at this, move into liquidity down here, and then look at the buyers come back in to the liquidity up here, and the sellers come in. That's one. And the other element is the price structure is really limited in your footprint charts. Whereas in here, we can see, you want to understand what a trend line break is all about. Here it is. Look at this beauty here, right? And look at the buy volume come in. You're not going to see that in your footprint chart. Look at the exhaustion down here. Yeah, you'll see the exhaustion in your footprint, but you won't be able to put it together with understanding this context in here, and then also potential stop runs to the upside, etc. Anyway, guys, let's wrap it up. Thanks everybody. If you like this, hit the like button. Really helps us. Subscribe to the channel. And Tom B is next. Stay tuned. So you can come over to our Discord channel, or you can also watch it again here on YouTube. All right. Thanks everybody, and we'll catch up tomorrow with JTrader. All right. Yep. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.